One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report and pace his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Oh, shit. What's good with everybody, man? Much love, honor, respect, everybody. Shit. Much love to everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on this beautiful Tuesday morning, man, at least over here in the United States. Listen, man, we've got a lot to cover this morning as a lot of things have been unraveling, and we're discussing stuff that is happening at home right now. Usually we discuss, world politics, geopolitics. We discuss things happening around the world. And we have one here at home today. So, of course, we're about to get into that as a school shooting happened, I believe, yesterday. And now, of course, all of the details are coming out as we speak right now. So, yes, there was a school shooting at a Christian school in Wisconsin. We're going to go ahead and get into that right after we get through a couple quick announcements, by the way. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Number one metric of all of YouTube, helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. What else is free? Hitting that subscribe button. Also, please consider becoming a member starting only at $2.99 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks per month. So it helps out the show immensely and allows us to continue doing what we're doing. Also, make sure you guys follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my lifestyle, but of the show and Millennial Food Time. We get down like a motherfucker over there. Also, I go live. I went live last night with my buddy Nick Ray, and go check out his page and you'll see the live that we had last night. And last but not least, if you guys would like a shout out, of course, we're shouting out all of the gifted memberships, membership sign up, super chats, super stickers, all of that. But if you guys would like to help out monetarily and not have YouTube take that brutal 30% cut, we have these scrolling down for the remainder of the show. And of course, I'll read out your guys's messages or whatever that goes with it. So real quick, I want to give a special shout out to Jess. Before we even started the show this morning, she sent in a total of 10 gifted memberships for you guys. So listen, man, that's humongous. And not only helps me, but it helps the people in the community as well. And as well as saying good morning, everyone. Well, good morning to you. I know over there it's like 3 a.m. for you. So I appreciate you being cognizant and hanging out with us this morning, meaning that you're awake. Most of the time at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm asleep. There's a rumor the Pew Pewer was a Decepticon. We're going to get into that, Glare. It's not what you necessarily, but we're about to get into that. I promise that. I was telling Glare this morning, I wish my old lady would get a safe job like a lion tamer or Alaska fisherman instead of being a school teacher. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding, Steve. I get you. What's up, Bill Hicks? Up in the building. What's up, my man? Good to see you. And that's right. She, before we even started the show, man, she gifted out 10 to you guys. So we got Tiffany up in here. Good to see you as well. We got Evil Rick, brother Steve Easy. We got Huggy, man. Good to see all of you legends up in here. And that's right, Junkyard. We live, baby. You already know the deal. You know the deal over here. We get down like a motherfucker. And I got down last night. That's something that I most definitely did. You know, it was a perfect, you know. And by the way, did you guys see that? I told the Breakfast Club, I told everybody last night or yesterday morning on the show that I was going to go get sushi. I was like, man, that sounds good. Watch my Instagram because I'm going to go get it now because you guys in the chat were talking about it. Yeah. I went all out, went fucking all out. Yeah. Go check that shit out. It was crazy. Yes, sir. Good to see all of you guys, man. We got Brother Pitbull over there in England. Good to see you, my man. Hit that like button. I very much appreciate you, my man. And we're all doing good over here, allegedly as well. Good morning to you, sis. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning so far. I know that we are Road Rage up in the building. Yeah, you're always in some crazy ass shit, dude. Look at this. Yeah. What's up, man? So far, so good on the week, man. It's been an enjoyable week so far. Yes, allegedly you're driving, so make sure you drive safe. Sweet Potatoes, what's up, Dean? Good to see you over there in Israel, man. It's always an honor. We got Lone Cowboy Adventures. Good morning, kind sir. Always good to see you, as well as Fester, man. You guys are coming in through and thick right now. It's kind of crazy. Love you all. I just got off Instagram for a bit. Need to focus on some big goals. Absolutely, man. I get that. Listen, you can't. There are times in your life that you can have like that focus for like social media or media in general. But yeah, you know, you got to know when it's time that you got to step away for a bit. Hardwire, good morning, kind sir. It's making libs demand more gun control. Yes, that's true. But to me, it does the opposite. Shows more why we need to carry everywhere. And ironically, that's exactly how the left perceives it. They perceive it as we need gun control. Well, really, in this case, it is 1,000% illegal to bring a firearm onto school premises as a civilian and especially as a minor. So it's already illegal. It's already outlawed. It's not like it's not outlawed. It is outlawed, dummies, right? And the second thing is where are the fucking parents? Where is the parents' responsibility in this? Because I guarantee you that some 15-year-old kid doesn't own their own firearm like that unless their parent bought it for them or they jacked it from their parents. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's very simple to me. But the left loves to cater to, to emotions, appeal to emotions there and get people upset and riled up because that's the only real way that they can go ahead and try to enforce some sort of Second Amendment breach, right? Always good to see you, Brother Glare, by the way, as well as VT up in the building. Good morning, kind sir. American Uncensored, thank you guys so much for coming through. We got Evie Daly, by the way. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning. Good to see you over there in the West Coast. We got Ramesh as well over there. And I believe, are you and I can't remember exactly what country you are in, Ramesh. I think you're in Iraq or I can't remember. I can't remember, man. So my apologies. We got Brother Beezer over there in South Florida, man. You guys are just blowing this shit up right now. As well as KP. I see KP up in here. Hell yeah. We need armed teachers to stop this shit. I agree. And it's gonna be a hard. This has been an ongoing issue since 2001. So it's collectively just kind of steamballed into this. We need to go ahead and get this to stop, but not in the way that the left thinks. I definitely co-sign having teachers carrying. I think that's definitely what they should be doing. At very bare minimum, you need to have, armed security at these schools at this point. Because you got these little terrorists, running around in the fucking school terrorizing motherfuckers. Yeah, you should be able to have somebody that can smoke them if needed. We're going to take one out to save all of them. Yeah, that absolutely. Actually, in North Carolina, you can have it on school grounds with a concealed carry in your vehicle. Yes, it has to stay in your vehicle on school property, which I know what you're getting at. It's on school property, but it has to stay in your vehicle. Exactly. That is and I do know that to be something that was for a long time in the South that way, basically. And I'm sure it is that way here. Far be it they enforce current gun laws before making new ones. Exactly. They don't even enforce the shit that they've already fucking breached in our Constitution. Facts, by the way. We got Shockers. Good morning, kind sir. Good to see you as well. All right, we got to get into the damn story, man. We got Martin as well. Always good to see you. What's the legal age to buy a firearm out there? Okay, so for a long rifle, it is 18. For a handgun, it's 21. There you go. Yes, sir. Fairly simple. I don't know why it's 18 and 21, to be honest, but whatever. It just is what it is. So, all right, let's get into the fucking story. The news media right now, we got some craziness going on. Obviously, this is off of Live Now from Fox. It started about 5 hours ago, the whole live stream, but we're going to go ahead and actually back it up to about 3.5 hours ago when they had this report this morning. So let's go ahead and get into it.
I hope.
Crackling you're hearing is on Fox Live Now from Fox's side. It's not our side.
That this day would never come in Madison.
I can't believe I'm standing here today talking
It'll
about
clear
this
up.
incident.
I would have never thought it would have happened in Madison, let alone at our school here, ALCS.
Shock and disbelief. That is how Madison city leaders describe
Damn, it's
their
fucking really bad
reaction.
right now. So hold on, let me go ahead and just scroll up and see if it fixes. Yeah, there's no crackling on that. So all right, let's go and bring it back. Give me a sec. Where the fuck did it go? Of course.
Hard to detect.
What the fuck did it go?
And
It's like it turned into a whole different fucking stream. You know what I mean?
some numbers out and it'll send tips
Yeah, see,
directly
this is what I wanted to get
to
to
the
right here.
home, but they're still working to determine the officials. Good morning. Right now at traffic, the map is all green, but
All right.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
Our hearts are with you. Our arms are around you. And we will be with you throughout the duration of
Oh, it did clear up. So maybe it was a fucked up thing on the internet side.
this.
The city of Madison grapples with how to move forward following a shooting at Abundant Life Christian School. 3 people are dead, including the alleged shooter.
Our Zoe Chapala is joining us live with what we can expect to hear from officials. Good morning, Zoe.
Good morning. You can see
Oh, so Gary, I appreciate the fact check right there. So handgun is 21 from a dealer, but let's say that, yeah. So, okay, I understand what you're saying. But if I buy it privately, if I buy it, let's say, or my dad gifts me, which you can do laterally up and down. You just can't go to like your brother and sister. You can go, from generation to generation, essentially. But let's say you do that, then yeah, it would be 18, right? That's what I thought it was. But I forgot about that little nuance.
Derica continue.
Fix your fucking microphones.
All right. She's there experiencing some technical difficulties, but police are still there this morning, continuing to investigate
Yes,
why this happened.
that's fact.
Here's what we know so far. A teacher and a student are both dead after police say 15-year-old Natalie Rupp now shot them. A second grader called 911 after gunshots rang out at a study hall yesterday afternoon. Investigators say Rupp now died on the way to the hospital.
Well, this happened after she turned the gun on herself. 4 others were also hurt in the shooting, including 2 who are in critical condition this morning. Detectives say they spoke with Rupp Now's family and they are
Holy
cooperating
shit.
with the investigation.
I'm missing some shit real quick. Give me 1 sec. All right, real quick. We got our man, the myth, the legend over here. I very much appreciate you. My boy Howard sends over $10 saying happy fucking Tuesday, by the way. I see you in the chat, man. Appreciate you, my man. Yes, sir. I very much appreciate that. That goes very, very far. I very much appreciate you, kind sir. Let me make sure I'm all fucking caught up because I'm really bad at this sometimes. You know what I mean? Definitely bad at this. But I'm all caught up. We're good.
Investigators
Howard,
searched
thank
the
you, bro.
home, but they're still working to determine the motive.
I'm asking everyone to send your heartfelt wishes and prayers and thoughts yet again to a community, but this time it's my community.
Police will hold another press conference
Damn,
this
that's terrible. By the way, Tiffany, that's terrible.
afternoon. We will keep you posted with any updates on air and online.
Many across our area and the country are mourning this morning after that shooting at the Abundant Life Christian School, again claiming the lives of 3 people, including the shooter.
Now, there are still many questions left unanswered this morning, but let's break down what we know as you wake
What's
up.
up, Brother Straight?
This
Good to
all
see you,
started
man.
When police got a call of an active shooter at the school just before 11 Monday morning. Well, that call came from a second grade student,
Whoa.
a teacher,
My
and
boy Beezer going fucking apeshit over here. Brother Beezer, thank you so much for that. Shit. Hopefully it disperses it. Hopefully it goes out to the people. Man, it didn't do it. Why is it not doing that? I don't understand. Is it because of the title or something like that that the AI is like, you know what? Fuck him. He's not going to get it. Why is that? But anyways, Beezer, thank you so fucking much, man. That goes a humongous way over here, man. Thank you for
the
that.
teenage student are dead. Their names have not been released. When police arrived, the shooter was found dead, and we now know it was by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. She has since been identified as 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow, who went by Samantha. 6 other people were injured. 2 are in critical condition, and 4 others are recovering at home. Detectives have searched the shooter's family home.
I don't know if we've ever had any interaction with her to today. That's something that our intelligence analysts will be looking at. Going
Why do you
through.
sound like a fucking
Again,
alien?
we've recently made the positive ID, and so that will be part of the investigation.
We still don't know a motive at this time, but officials say if you see something, say something. There's an app called Speak Up, Speak Out, and it'll send tips directly to the appropriate resources.
Clear
Now,
your
here's
throat.
What we know what will be going on today. At 1 o'clock, Madison Police will be holding a press conference to update the public on the investigation. We'll be streaming that press conference on the Fox local app.
Yes, Hook
At
Dog.
6 tonight, the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County
By the
will
way,
be
good morning to you, kind sir, over there on the beautiful West Coast.
hosting a candlelight vigil at the Belle Phillips statue at the state capitol.
And in the wake of the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School, candles were lit for a vigil to remember the lives lost. This was organized by students at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. We spoke with one of those students in attendance at the vigil. Here is their message.
The reason why we're all here is because our generation is the
Yep.
next
Before we started, Tiffany, I got blocked like 16 times. Not even joking. And I was like, dude, what is going on? Like, I actually highlighted those comments that did go through, like, oh my God, they're blocking me on the very beginning of this episode. I do that all the time through the intro to show, like, hey, we're getting fucking beamed right now. Yeah, I was getting hammered, by the way. And I think it has to do with the title not being YouTube-friendly words. And I think that the AI system kind of beams the chats of live streams like that. But I can't help it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a news organization, man, a news network. You know, I'm sorry, but when what am I going to say? A school pew-pewer? Like, fuck, I'm not writing that out. You know what I mean? That's fucking whack.
generation that's going to be the ones to step up, and we want
I'm not making light of their situation. You know, I'm not celebrating somebody's pain ever. You know what I mean? This is informational and educational.
generation of
Supposed
change.
to be that
We
way
are
on
tired
YouTube.
of seeing our children and loved ones
That's true, Huggy.
stuck in this crossfire.
A powerful message as it goes to show how so many people beyond this community are being impacted. Again, another candlelit vigil is taking place at 6 o'clock tonight at the Belle Phillips statue at the Madison State Capitol. That'll be hosted by
What's
the
up,
Boys
Todd
and
J?
Girls Club of Dane County.
And we got Papa Penguin up in here saying maybe the AI is drinking again. Weird things happen when folks fall off the wagon. AI isn't immune. No one is safe. No one is safe, brother Papa Penguin. Good to see you as well, by the way. Hopefully you guys are doing well. And also, real quick, nice little call to action. I very much appreciate you, Fester. Go ahead and hit that like button. I very much appreciate you guys. It's free to do so. Helps out the show immensely, man. Appreciate you guys. Back to this.
One mother rushed to the school as soon as she heard about the shooting. She says she was able to FaceTime with her child so that she knew that she was safe.
You don't think you're going to go through this, you know, and like I said before, I bring my daughter to school knowing, well, that this happens in the world, that people are struggling, and I pray.
Yep, they can do it all day long and never get beamed. Yep, that's the favoritism, 100%. 1000%, by the way. They can
For
do
my
it.
daughter's safety. I pray for the entire school safety. I pray for the hearts of the students, the teachers, the staff members. It's a very real thing, and I'm very aware that the world is like this.
And reaction to the shooting pouring in from across the state and country. Wisconsin's 2 U.S. senators speaking out. Senator Ron Johnson posting on X saying, quote, "My sincere condolences and prayers for all of the victims of the tragedy at Abundant Life Christian School. I will continue to closely monitor the situation."
Senator Tammy Baldwin, meanwhile, sharing, quote, "I've been briefed on the active shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, and my heart goes out to all of those impacted. My office is in touch with local and state officials, and I stand ready to assist law enforcement and anyone affected."
We also have some numbers for you this morning. According to the K-12 school shooting database, this is the 38th school shooting in the United States since 2001 that killed at least
That's a fantastic question. You know, totally. Were they on SSRIs? Were they on some sort of medication for, and definitely we have a mental health issue. We don't have a gun issue in America. We have a mental health issue. And we always seem to love to try to put Band-Aids on shit with medications. But instead of going down to the root cause and working on that, trying to better yourself, we don't do that here in America. We don't do that shit. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate. 100% KP.
Not counting the shooter. Of those 38 school shootings, this is the 19th that meets the FBI's definition of an active shooter situation. Those 19 active shooters killed 126 people.
What's up, Miss Lotus? Good morning to you over there on the East Coast. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning so far.
37 more. The Department of Justice says that these shootings can be stopped before they ever start.
Art
And
Bender,
we will
good
continue
morning.
to follow this story with the conditions of those injuries, any updates from law enforcement, and reaction to the shooting as it comes in on air and online on the Fox local app.
Turning now to some other local news of the morning happening right now.
All right, we appreciate our content partners over at Fox 6 Milwaukee giving us the very latest information. Just a tragic situation to share with you all during this holiday season. Again, we are looking ahead to 1 o'clock today when officials there are expected to hold an updated press conference to give you the latest information on this case. The time now 6:19 here on the East Coast. We're going to go to our first 2-minute commercial break of the hour. We'll be right back.
All right, let's go ahead and actually take a small break from that news cycle because I do want to point your attention to something that I found very interesting right before I started the live this morning. So this is just an hour ago, and this is off of this same live stream. It's just I don't want to have to like scroll and look for it. I just have it queued up, ready to go. So we'll go ahead and get into this. This is going to be an interesting discussion.
On this topic right now, we want to bring into the conversation none other than CEO of SkySafe, Grant Jordan. Grant, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox.
Morning. Good to be here.
So, as I just mentioned, a lot to dissect. Let's go back in time. I'd love to get your first reaction as we were seeing across social media, all of these posts, people coming up with their own thoughts as to what are these mysterious drone sightings. What were your thoughts when you first heard the news?
Well, I think so. In our work at SkySafe, we track drone activity across a number of cities. We work with foreign partners. And
yeah, my boy Darren up in the building. Good to see you, my man. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning so far. I know that all of us over here in the Breakfast Club are. Hopefully you stick around and hang out with us.
It's not a new thing to us. We see thousands of drones flying all the time. But I do always worry that the public may get concerned over something and start seeing things that aren't necessarily drones. We've definitely seen a lot of that in this case. But the real key here is we need the tools for law enforcement, for government agencies to be able to monitor the airspace, to be able to know that before an actual incident occurs. And I think that's one of the things that's underscored here is, once the incident has already happened, it's too late to then start rolling out technologies. By then, you've got so many different reports of things that maybe aren't drones. And it's very easy for that to become kind of mass hysteria if we don't actually have the infrastructure out there already.
Yeah, Grant, you raise a great point because so many people, including lawmakers, are demanding answers from federal partners as to what are these drones, where did they come from, how are they allowed to be in the airspace during this time, and because, depending on who you asked, because we don't have that much information, people are coming to their own conclusions.
Of course.
Even to the point where you hear
every time that huge like conspiracy theories come out, it's because the government's not being forthcoming and just fucking transparent with the American people. It's very simple. It's very simple.
People, just everyday civilians, saying maybe we should shoot these down to figure out what it is. With your professional expertise, why should you not do that?
Steve.
And why should we leave it
ding, 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 ding.
to the experts like yourself?
Well, first off, obviously, interfering with an aircraft in the air is a federal crime. So I would encourage anyone to not be doing that. But more importantly, what we do need is, we need people to be aware. We need people to understand. And, at SkySafe, our focus is really about enabling the use of the airspace. Having drones be able to share the space with traditional aviation in a safe manner. And the way we need to do that is we need to be able to, have the proper authorities, have the proper approvals. As you mentioned, it's not legal for most people to be flying a drone at night. Nighttime operations are their own thing. But even during the day, we've got lots of commercial uses of drones, and we need to make sure that that's done safely.
Dude, this whole thing right here is such a fucking distraction. We have so much going on in the world right now, and yet this is what's like taking precedence over the mainstream. Isn't that crazy?
You posed a great point about sharing the airspace. I can tell you in the media, my former news markets, some of the photographers have had drones that they'll use to get aerial footage of crime scenes and things like that. But this is significantly different. When you hear about a drone sharing airspace of airplanes, many of the viewers were like, okay, so as I'm heading home during the holidays and I roll up the window, will I look out and just see a drone coasting along next to the airplane? Is that a possibility? Is that safe? Will that be the new reality?
Oh, wow. I just got some
it is a possibility in that,
it's got a little bit of news over here that we do need to get serious on. So let's go ahead and save this for another time. And because you guys know I'm always watching what's happening in the news. Kind of my job to do so, right? So let's go ahead and discuss this. This is a little bit wild right here, right now. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Jeanne Francine. The time now 7:09 here on the East Coast, and we are following breaking news headlines on this Tuesday morning. Take a good look at your screen. This breaking news headline takes us out to Moscow, Russia. On this Tuesday, the Associated Press reporting an explosive device planted near an apartment building in Moscow killed the head of Russia's nuclear and chemical forces this Tuesday. Russia's investigative committee saying the bomb.
Wow. So a bomb killed the head of Russia's nuclear defense forces. Holy shit. Who do you think did that shit?
Which triggered the device placed in a scooter killed Lieutenant General Igor Kurylov and his assistant. Kurylov, who was named the head of Russia's nuclear defense forces back in April of 2017, was under sanctions from several countries.
This is about 3-4 hours ago right here. That it was on this live report.
Including the UK and Canada for his role in Ukraine. The bomb was triggered remotely and had the power equivalent to roughly 300 grams of TNT. This news coming from a Russia news agency. State television footage from the scene shows shattered windows and scorched and blackened brickwork. We're also learning that Moscow is treating the bombing at this hour as a terrorist attack.
Lappy.
Video on your screen
Good morning,
right now
by the way.
showing the head of Russia's nuclear defense forces who was killed
Assad.
from this bombing. We know back in May, the U.S.
Yeah. What's up, my man? We got Joseph up in the building. Good morning, my man. And yeah, stop the cat.
Not the cap.
Yeah, that's right.
State
Good to
Department
see you,
said in
man.
a statement that it had recorded the use of a chemical weapon first used in World War I against Ukrainian troops. The SBU saying they recorded more than 4,800 uses of chemical weapons on the battlefield since February of 2022, particularly K1 combat grenades. This attack on this Tuesday is not the first to target a Russian official. As we know, back on December 9th, an explosive device was placed underneath a car in the Russian-occupied Ukrainian city.
Hell yeah, VT.
reportedly
Make sure you drive safe, my man.
targeting the head of the prison, where dozens of Ukrainian prisoners of war died in a missile strike from July of 2022. One other was injured in the blast. So if you're just now tuning in to Live Now from Fox, again, giving you a live look on this Tuesday morning out in Moscow, Russia, as the Associated Press reports a bomb has killed the head of Russia's nuclear defense forces and his
Yeah, meanwhile, motherfuckers are wanting to discuss right now. Motherfuckers want to talk on the media side, the mainstream media, all the different content creators on YouTube and all that shit. They want to talk about drones. Want to talk about drones. Shit. Talk about a distraction, man. We got some shit going on around the world.
Instant there in Moscow. This is a breaking news situation. So we are working to get more information. And when we do, you can get.
That's a really, really interesting, totally. Like, I see how that could happen, by the way, Anson. I can see that. By the way, good morning to you. We got Alabama's finest in the building.
Right here on Live Now from Fox. We're going to go ahead and go to our second 2-minute commercial.
No,
break
the
of
fuck we're
hour.
not. We're
We'll be right
skipping
back.
past that shit. We got magical skip abilities. So bring it back to Russia, please. I hope she does. We'll see.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. Here is 7:14 on the East Coast. We continue to follow breaking news headlines. And this one transitioning us to Middle East conflict. We
Okay.
are learning at this hour that the U.S. military on this Tuesday saying it bombed a Houthi military facility in Yemen's capital. We are working to get more information on that.
Yemen
But-
getting hammered.
we know a live event happened earlier this morning. Right now, you're getting a live look out in central Damascus, Syria.
What's up,
The
brother
head
Bob?
of the independent
My man.
UN-backed team investigating crimes on Syria held a press briefing out in Geneva, Switzerland, discussing reports on opportunities and challenges ahead. Let's listen in.
Hanson. Oh man, here goes the United Nations, huh?
Okay. Good morning. Bonjour. And thank you for coming. At this undoubtedly momentous time for Syria and Syrians, who for 2 generations grew up under a dictatorial regime that has now crumbled in a matter of days before our very eyes. Obviously, this moment is very portentous and necessitates obviously a lot of different actors coming together. But since I've taken my position in May of this year, met obviously many Syrians, and one thing has struck me and has always been clear is that despite 14 years of stalemate, they never gave up hope for an inclusive and comprehensive accountability for their victimization. That hope now appears to be closer than ever to being realized. And hopefully the IIIM can fulfill its mandate, which is to play a part in that accountability process. First off, I think it might be useful for me.
So the headline reads, just in case you guys are listening, UN emergency discussion on crimes in Syria and Middle East conflict. So this is an emergency UN discussion. So yeah, I'm interested in what they have to say.
To go over a little bit of our mandate. What is the IIIM? We were created by a resolution of the General Assembly in 2016 to collect, preserve, consolidate, and analyze evidence of serious crimes committed in Syria since March 2011. We have an open-ended mandate, and we have a mandate to investigate the commission or the evidence of commission of these crimes, regardless of perpetrator.
Yemen's getting hammered.
We've been doing so, and essentially in two ways. As I said, collecting that evidence. We have now over 283 terabytes.
Bill, I've been watching the essential start of World War III for the last 6, 7, 8 months, something like that, like super heavily. And yeah, watching it come to this point, it makes you go, holy shit. Like my issues is nowhere close to like some serious World War III issues. Puts life into perspective a bit, doesn't it, homie? But yeah, I feel that 100%. And I try not to scare people by telling them like, hey, this is what's about to happen, blah, 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 or whatever, because we can kind of draw a conclusion to how this is going to end and what's going to spark what and what countries are going to band together. We already know. So yeah, it's incredible to watch, and people are like, we're on the brink of it. I'm like, no, we're in it. We're in it already. You know what I mean? We just boots on the ground of like, which is crazy. People don't even know that in Syria, we have American soldiers right now sniping motherfuckers' heads off as we speak right now. You know what I mean? So it's, listen, we're all over the fucking place and we fund it all, by the way. So yeah, hard reality
of data that we've accumulated. And we have been using that data and generating our own to fulfill the mandate of supporting current and future jurisdictions. That's our mandate. Obviously, the idea was that eventually there would be some kind of comprehensive Syria accountability. And in the meantime, we were to support jurisdictions who have, through the use of universal jurisdictions, investigated and prosecuted these crimes. Indeed, over the course of the life of the IIIM, we've received over 400
because
requests.
they're the only ones that actually got some sort of money and resources left, Steve. And yeah, they're the birthplace and creators and funders of every terrorist organization out there in the Middle East anyways. You know what I mean? Like, well, for the most part, for the damn most part.
For assistance from 16 different jurisdictions, representing over 230 separate investigations all over the world of these crimes committed in Syria by various actors. These investigations have led to...
Yep, exactly. Yep. We got boots on the ground everywhere, dude. Like damn near everywhere, it seems like.
Trials and verdicts. I'm happy to say that we've been able to answer and support over 210, I think, of these requests with actual evidence, as well as analytical products. And
by the way, good morning,
contribution
SNS.
to these accountability processes have been recognized by several jurisdictions. In the meantime, in parallel to that, we have been preparing for a future accountability process by developing specific lines of inquiries across different topics and different lines of inquiry to develop a structural, based on a structural investigation and comprehension of these crimes. That process and that data, obviously,
good morning, kind sir,
has been gathered through various sources, most significantly from Syrian civil society. From the very beginning have been documenting, oftentimes at the risk of their lives, their
oh, he goes on for a fucking minute.
We've also gathered data in partnership with different national and international actors. And we have been working alongside our
let him go for a little bit longer.
Mandate, such as the Special Envoy, the Commission of Inquiry, OPCW, and now the IIMP.
Because I definitely want to move ahead and get back into what is going on with the bombing that happened in Russia earlier today. Bomb ends up killing the head of Russia's nuclear defense over there. So that's an interesting story, not going to lie.
Now, since the events of the last 12 days, 13 days, we've been developing a response to these rapidly unfolding and still very much fluid events and situation.
Fucking, and you know what's funny? People will fucking eat that shit up and believe that kind of shit over there. You know, it's so fucking crazy. What an idiot. What an oxymoron that all is.
And
what's up, brother Shadow?
Have, among other things, developing or using our close contact network of sources, both inside and outside Syria, and those who have contacts inside Syria, trusted sources. We've been in contact with over 20 of them and maintaining
Brother Dwayne
to get an accurate picture of what's happening.
Shit.
We obviously want to, we have also developed a coordination with these partners, international partners here in Geneva that I've mentioned. And we've noted a few things, and we've established a few things. Obviously, at the first 48 hours of the situation as it unfolded, especially in Damascus, was very chaotic.
Yeah, to say the least. It is chaotic.
We have seen all of us.
The whole world is in chaos. What are you talking about? It's all chaotic.
Evidence of loss of evidence or potential evidence, quite clearly. Some of that is normal in any of these situations, and especially at the pace that these events unfolded, quite understandable. What we have, however, also noted with hope is a stated awareness from the transitional authorities and from Syrian civil society actors of the need to preserve evidence. When you're talking about a government, a state apparatus who for 14 years used every aspect of that apparatus to commit crimes, you will have a massive amount of documentation left behind. Certainly was my experience, for example, in Cambodia. So that awareness of the need to preserve evidence is hopeful. We also have noted that several national actors and also international actors have offered to help in the current situation, to help the transitional authorities to preserve that evidence. And we're certainly hoping that these efforts will.
Let me go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. Go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. I'd rather discuss what is the actual crimes.
Reactivated. So we expect an increased demand from jurisdictions for our support based on the current events. Now, our key priority is preservation, right? Or it should be the key priority of everyone. Ideally, everything should be left in sight, preserved and secured with limited access and no movement.
Nice.
However, given the
That's fantastic, Shadow.
That things need to be moved.
Time for a little vacation, homie. You get your little your holiday vacation. That's what I'm talking about.
If that's the case, the key is to document every single step of that intervention and to make sure that it's fully documented for eventual evidence. Lastly, we do have indeed a role to play because preservation is our bread and butter. This is what we know how to do and we are equipped to do and mandated and created to do. So we very much hope to have a role into this process.
Okay.
And
that was good enough for me.
I should note that the Syrian
We'll go ahead and move it over.
creation,
We've got the AP over here as well, continuing.
The truth is different. It doesn't matter how many times you repeat.
What the fuck is this? Why do they have that song on it?
Media takes us a new live event that's coming to our Live Now from Fox Studios. This one takes us out to Strasbourg, France. Right now, European Parliament, they are holding a session regarding the misinformation and disinformation on social media platforms such as TikTok. Let's listen in.
What? What? I gotta hear this. Why the fuck did they put some TikTok song to it? No way. This is not real.
And you want to hold others accountable for interfering in national elections? Come on.
it is preposterous. The truth is different. It doesn't matter how many times you repeat the word democracy in every possible way. You hate democracy, you hate people, you hate the same views, you hate freedom, and you love tyranny. That's why this is the top 5.
All right,
What
it
the
seems
fuck?
to be an audio issue on this feed, so my producer is working to fix it. But again, you're getting a live look out in Strasbourg, France. At this hour, European Parliament, they are holding a session on, quote, misinformation and disinformation on social media platforms, including TikTok, and related risks to the integrity of elections in Europe. We know that President-elect Donald Trump had some words yesterday as it did relate to TikTok. He says that he's okay with TikTok, which has raised some concerns at this hour, as there were many Republicans who felt like the integrity of TikTok was not best for America. So not only a situation right here in the U.S., but also
Shit. What's up, GEG? Good morning, concern.
a concern out in the EU, as European Parliament have come together to hold this discussion. It looks like my producer is working to get that feed in, so we're going to transition now.
Matter. However, from my perspective,
Why does he sound like an alien?
if you have clear evidence, because I don't see this kind of evidence. What I see that you like censorship, and if someone you like
What the
censorship
fuck?
and
This guy?
you don't like internet.
You don't
because
like
in
internet.
we still
You don't like internet. You don't
have,
like censorship.
we still have a freedom, some kind of freedom. Of course, we have still in internet. That's why you don't like internet.
That's
In
why you
your
don't like the
media,
internet.
leftist media, you can do whatever you want. In internet,
Speaking like this, bro, I could be the spokesperson for this whole ordeal and actually like get my point across. What the fuck is happening right now? You just don't like internet. You just obviously don't like internet.
that is much difficult. So that's why you try to cancel election.
That's why you try to cancel election, because you don't like internet.
Thank you.
What the fuck is happening right now?
Thank you, Madam President. I'll speak Romanian. Alegerile recente din România au arătat un pericol major și foarte real pentru democrația noastră europeană.
Oh, I'm not listening to that. No, I'm not listening to that. No, I can't do that bullshit. Nope, not that fucked up translation bullshit. All right, let's go ahead and get back into the main topic of what we wrote down as the title today. Let's go ahead and bring this back for Madison over there in Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. We continue with your top stories and headlines this Tuesday morning. Sad news to report: at least 3 people dead, 6 others injured after a teen opened fire.
I didn't know that. I thought it was only 3, including the shooter. But now it's 3 more or 6 more that were injured. Fuck.
Inside of a small Christian school in Wisconsin yesterday. The shooter has been identified as a 15-year-old female student who did attend that school. Fox's Bowen Kadrevich joining us live outside the Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. Bowen, what can you tell us at this hour? I know this is a developing situation.
Hi, Janae. Well, at least 1 student and 1 teacher were killed during the shooting here, and 2 students are in a critical condition with life-threatening injuries. Now, 4 others are injured with non-life-threatening injuries, and they have been treated for it, and 2 have been released from the hospital. Now, police responded to reports of an active shooter in the school. At the school shortly before 11 yesterday morning. Police say that call came from a 2nd grader. The shooting happened inside a study hall with students of multiple grades. Police say the shooter used a handgun. They also say evidence suggests the shooter turned the gun on herself. She died while being taken to a local hospital.
Wow.
Madison police say they are still working to find a motive.
Yeah, that's some mental health issues right there, guaranteed. 1000%. It's always comes down to, it's never a gun issue. It's always a mental health issue every time.
Document about this shooting is circulating this time.
You done like
on social
censorship.
media, but we have not verified its authenticity. The Abundant Life Christian School is being monitored by police overnight. At this time, no one is allowed inside or on the school property.
Abundant Life Christian School released a statement on their social media saying all of our students have been united with their parents, and we are grateful for all of the support. We have been flooded with thoughts and prayers. This great nation is behind us. So grateful for the tsunami of prayers for our students, staff, and families. And officials say the shooter's parents are cooperating with investigators. Law enforcement did search the shooter's home for evidence yesterday. Janae, I'll send it back to you.
Bowen Kudrovich, always a pleasure to have you join us.
You know, when I run here in Alabama, by the way, Steve, I'm going to advocate for a bare minimum, because getting all teachers being able to carry is going to be a hard sell. But I know I can get I know for damn sure I can get armed security. I know I can do that. You know what I mean? And I know that's within like some realism, right? Like, I'm not being idealistic, I'm being realistic. And that is a way to be able to protect our schools. You know, everyone preaches about kids, and they always cater to kids, you know, in the sense of like, we need to do this for our children. We need to do this. Well, where they're at the entire fucking time, you want to keep that unarmed or unguarded? No, zero protection for all these little kids that cannot defend themselves. I know I can win that. I know I can win that. I'll run as a part of like that being one of my policies.
Live now from Fox. Just tragic news to share as we are within the holiday season, days away from Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
And we will continue our extensive coverage right after this quick 2-minute commercial break, our final one of the hour.
Nope, not for us. We get to skip right through this
Fox
bullshit.
News correspondent Connor Hansen joining us from New York with the very latest details in this case.
What's happening?
Police search for evidence at the home of a 15-year-old girl following a deadly shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin on Monday.
We're currently speaking with the father at one of our facilities, trying to determine what he may knew or may not have known about what happened today.
As police questioned the parents, they're asking how a teenager got a hold of a handgun.
It's a good question. How does any 15-year-old get a hold of a gun?
Police say a teacher and a
Pretty damn easy to jack your parents' shit if they're, you know, passed out drunk or whatever, and you know it's in his, you know, side drawer or some bullshit. You know, dude, these 15-year-old kids are not fucking completely clueless. You know what I mean? But it's up to the parents to fucking secure their shit, you know, for real. So they can't get to it. Especially if you have a child that is taking like some sort of SSRIs or taking some sort of medication for some sort of mental health issue or whatever the case is. Yeah, dude. You got to be on your P's and Q's.
Student died at the school with 6 others hospitalized, and police revealing one of the more shocking details.
A second grade student called 911 to report a shooting had occurred.
Facts, by the way, GEG. I know that.
Don't let that soak in for a minute. A second grade student called 911.
Barnes says some of the injured are still fighting for their lives in the hospital, while 2 others were discharged Monday night. All of this as the community gathered at vigils, still processing the shooting, this one hitting too close to home.
I just want everyone to kind of think about one thing is how long are we willing to let our children and loved ones remain in this crossfire of gun violence.
You guys need that, VT. You guys need to win that. Get your fucking gun rights back. Get your guns, get your gun rights. Fucking push for that shit. Overturn all of it.
Police still have not given any details on a possible motive. They are investigating a document being shared online, trying to find out if it's authentic. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Fox News. I hate that
Connor,
guy
thank
doing
you so
that.
much for that detailed report. A lot to dissect this morning. So we want to bring into the conversation David Katz, the CEO of Global Security Group and former federal agent and firearms instructor. Good morning to you, David. Always a pleasure having you on the show.
My pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning to you. So this news, unfortunate, and it seems to become a reality so many times right here in America. Every few months, we are discussing this type of tragic situation. I would love to learn your first thoughts hearing this news yesterday that a second grader called 911 because of this school shooting.
No, I mean, it's just horrifying. But I mean, just think about that for a moment. How old is a second grader? 7? Maybe 8?
How come all these guys that are like professional and shit can't fucking get a proper microphone? I really, like, to me, like, if you know you're going to be on the fucking mainstream media, dude, I go on to a YouTube show and I make sure I sound proper. If I was going on the mainstream media, I mean, I would be talking like this, probably put a background up, green screen or something like that. But nonetheless, you'd be able to hear me correctly. I don't understand why people do this shit.
I mean, that child is going to carry those scars from that moment for the rest of his or her life. But kudos to the child who did it. But it's just a horrific thing to even contemplate.
Yeah, David, that's a great point because the fact that this second grader knew to do this, as you mentioned, great response from the student, but how sad.
Yeah, so the second grader, by the way, the reason why the second grader is relevant in this story is because the second grader is the one that called 911. So this chick that was 15 years old that did this whole shooting, there was a second grader that called 911. Pretty fucking incredible. W for that second grader, by the way. It's sad that they had to wait until fucking police show up and all that shit to handle a fucking situation when you could have had, security there. You could have armed security at all these schools and they could have handled it right then and there. But now, we don't want to protect our kids like that. We don't want to get serious. Yeah, no. Let's just go ahead and say that this is a gun problem. And that will fix the issue. No. You have no understanding that that people that are criminals, people that are out of their minds, they're not going to follow the fucking laws. You need to secure yourself. You know what I mean? It's crazy that anybody would argue that. On the flip side, it's like, dude, this is a mental health issue.
Parents have to have these conversations.
What's up,
before
Digga?
the school year
Good morning, by
starts.
the way.
This might happen at your school. This is what you need to do. We're seeing so many elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, even college campuses and universities having active shooter trainings because of this.
Sad, but true.
Even my own children, I told them exactly what they needed to do if, God forbid, it happened. And by the way, teaching your child to call 911 is not obviously just restricted to an active shooter incident. Mom or dad falls down and gets hurt, or dad falls down, is not responsive. A child, even small children, 3, 4, 5 years old, maybe not 3, but 4 or 5-year-old kids have called and saved their lives. So it's a good skill to teach your children.
David, a lot of unknowns.
Yep, just like Canada.
This hour as it relates to this investigation. We know police authorities working around the clock. There's supposed to be an updated press conference slated for this afternoon around 1. But what we do know at this time, the shooter, a person that attended the school. We don't know if she was bullied. We don't know if there was mental illness, but we do know she did attend the school. We do know that she did succumb to her own wounds. Were you surprised to find out that this was a female student in this incident?
Facts, by the way, GEG.
Yeah, statistically, that is.
Good morning, by the way, Warland.
It's
How you feeling this morning over there on the West Coast, my man? Hopefully you're doing good, man.
Anomaly. but we've had just was it, I don't know if it was last year before, the shooter in Nashville was female. So I mean, it's just not something you want to strive for, gender gender equity on, but it's interesting how these numbers are.
But yet all these motherfuckers, Dwayne, all these motherfuckers want to sit here and say and preach and talk about, oh, we need to do this for our kids. We need to do this for our kids. You guys don't give a fuck about your kids like that then. Obviously. Anything that is of significance, of some of importance, has armed security there. Yeah, and Steve Easy broke that down as well. Look at this. Social Security building in the VA has better security than schools do. The Social Security building itself has better security than schools do. Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. We'll guard money. We'll guard money with guns, but we won't guard our kids with guns. Sad. Fucking sad. I want to change that.
Traditionally, it's been one male shooter acting alone, as in almost all these cases. So it is an anomaly.
David, with your expertise about law enforcement and criminal justice, let's discuss the facts that we know at this time. The police response, they responded in around 3 minutes to the scene, trying to assess the situation, running inside. Can you talk about the nuts and bolts about what first responders and law enforcement experience during these times, trying to keep the public safe, but also trying to make it home to their families as well?
Yeah, well, that's great. I'm glad you raised that point.
It does show what they value, Evil Rick. That's the point. Anything of significant value, we protect that with all types of guns. That's how you enforce shit. That's how you protect shit. Why are we not doing that with our children? Absolutely fucking horrid.
You can imagine the officers first reaching the scene.
That would be hard.
They're
Yes.
going to go in and make contact with the shooter.
Correct, Steve.
So that as they go in, they're realizing, I am seconds away from possibly fighting for my life. And things flash through your mind. You have a wife and kids at home, or a husband and kids at home, or just your mom, your dad, your loved ones. So you're exactly right. And yet, despite those potential losses,
Yeah, we could hire so many fucking vets around the fucking nation. Could you imagine? Protect these kids? Dude, it'd be fantastic.
Their own personal, or the risk of their own personal safety, they went in. And it's that's the stark contrast to what happened in Uvalde. This was a textbook appropriate response. The first officers on scene went in, and the shooter had already taken her own life, but they didn't know that. They went in heedless of that risk, and that's exactly what we want our law enforcement officers to do. And again, it's nice that you recognize that fact.
David, as we talk about the unknowns this morning, obviously many times law enforcement can't share what they know because it might impede their
And that's a very good point, by the way, Stephanie. And school boards try to say that cell phones should not be allowed on campus, especially in elementary and middle school. A second grader had to make that call. Yep. And that's a sad fucking reality.
Investigation, but many people being interrogated. We know that law enforcement and investigators, they were at the shooter's home, speaking with family members. We know, of course, they'll be combing through emails, maybe a diary, speaking with potential friends.
Yes, by the way, I'm going to read this out loud because you guys are on point this morning, by the way. W chat, by the way. You guys always kill it, but you guys are on point today. Papa Penguin says they need to bring back combat sports in schools, wrestling, judo, whether it's jiu-jitsu or whatever, boxing, etc. Give kids an outlet, teach them violence, how to control that violence. Right, exactly. It's discipline. Stop teaching them to be fucking victims. Humongous W, by the way. Yep. Major facts.
It was very interesting for many of the viewers, though, to learn that the shooter, it was stated that she had a boyfriend who she was talking to online, but whom she never met in person. So people were wondering if there was some mental illness aspect to the situation.
I don't know. I mean, people have these weird online relationships. I mean, this is a different reality. It used to be like, boys and girls would, meet at the football game.
There's always a flip side,
They'd actually
Steve.
go on dates. But mental illness is an enormous factor in all these cases. I think I
Exactly.
mentioned
Okay, let me go and rewind what he just said right there.
But mental illness is an enormous factor in all these cases. I think I mentioned yesterday, there's no such thing
See?
as, one day the model student, the well-adjusted, the well-adjusted child walks into class and thinks, you know what, I think I'm
I'm
going to
just
start
gonna blast.
shooting my
Yeah, I'm just
student."
gonna blast everyone in the face. That doesn't fucking happen. That's not normal, by the way. Whether you have a fucking gun or not, by the way.
Fellow students and teachers. That simply does not happen. So there are always warning signs. I have a friend in
Seriously,
who
Papa, I know.
specializes in doing
In every case.
forensic psychological reports on potentially problematic students in school. And when I tell you, this is a weekly occurrence where she shares with me, look, I had a student and she asks for sometimes professional opinions. She's doing psychological workups on people, on children in middle schools and high schools, and coming away with, this kid is going to kill somebody.
Yeah, but like, I could argue that I was that well-adjusted teen. You know what I mean? I never thought about blasting nobody, and I'm sure you didn't think about that when you were a kid either. Like that was never an option. But now that is now the option, which is crazy because these kids really parents are not parenting their kids. Let's just say that as well.
It's an enormous problem, and I think mental health across the board is something we just don't have our hands wrapped around it. But you're exactly right. Mental illness and instability is always at the foundation of these particular shootings, like the school shootings.
Yeah, I know at this time, school officials have said they are going to provide mental counselors and therapists to help those that need help, dissecting and unfortunately accepting the reality of what's happened. But there's also discussion about school resource officers and the importance of having those men and women inside of the schools. I know that school resource officers were not present. If you can explain their importance, how they work hand in hand with law enforcement, do they have to be trained law enforcement, or are they allowed to be security guards, maybe with some training with combat?
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't have to be police officers. We have enough. I think I'm almost positive. I had a lengthy discussion on this station right after Uvalde saying, look, we have how many returning combat veterans who they were over in
By
Iraq.
the way, Steven is a girl, just so you know.
Or in Afghanistan, they were in places all over the world, and now maybe they've separated from service or retired. These men and women are well trained, and just with a little additional training to be able to have them understand the school environment, they would be a perfect resource.
Yo, my
But
man
that's what you're
Grid
looking
One
for,
up in the building. Much love, honor, respect, kind sir. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning over there in just a little bit north of me. Hopefully you're doing well. We're chilling. We went over a lot of the news already. I mean, we're already an hour and 10 in. This shit usually only lasts about an hour and a half. But we've covered a lot this morning, so trust me, everything that you want to discuss. I mean, even when it comes down to Russia and what just happened with the bombing, like we covered that as well. So get hip or or not. Whatever, but much love, man. Appreciate you for being here.
To just do the DARE program and just be like, a presence in the school. That's one thing. But if you're looking for meaningful security, yes, that requires additional training. And unfortunately, as we saw I think we saw it in Parkland, sometimes the school resource officer.
Merry Christmas, by the way, Digga,
because they're
and to
no longer
everybody.
effective on the street, and the chief of police, as I believe happened in Parkland, just parks that person someplace. Look, they've got a few years left on, before they retire.
All right, hold on.
Like, a presence in the school. That's one thing. But if you're looking for meaningful security, yes, that requires additional training. And unfortunately, as we saw I think we saw it in Parkland, sometimes the school resource officer is selected because they're no longer effective on the street, and the chief of police, as I believe happened in Parkland, just parks that person someplace. Look, they've got a few years left on, before they retire. They're worthless to me as an administrator on the street. I'll put them in a school. What exactly? I mean, that's just if you think about that, is there any more important role other than protecting school children? I mean, in law enforcement, I mean, this person should be very well trained, very capable and motivated. They provide, it's not just security, they're providing a presence. They can do instruction. They can kind of bridge the gap between, and that unfortunately happens between young people and law enforcement sometimes. So I'm completely behind that program. I think this school didn't have a resource officer because it was a private school. So in that case, I'm not sure. Well, you could hire off-duty law enforcement as a private school. I know that, because I've had that and have that situation. We deal in our practice. We recommend that
Exactly.
for private schools, but I'm
It
not
doesn't-
sure.
It can be
Madison,
every fucking school. I don't know why you got to limit.
Wisconsin has that program in public schools, but it is a good program and worthwhile exploring for any school.
David, the question why this happened is ringing loud this morning. Also, questions surrounding how did
I really just don't understand. We protect everything with value. And I have to reiterate this. We protect everything that is of some sort of value. We protect it with guns. But yet we don't do that with our own children. So guess we don't fucking value them like that. Oh, well, anything. Oh, we got gold over here. We got guys with guns. You got a bank full of money, guys with guns. You got a Social Security office with guns. You know what I mean? On federal property, by the way. So tell me why we can't fucking protect our kids again? Shit.
this young girl, school-age girl, get a gun in the first place? A lot of eyes turning to the parents in this situation, the legal guardians as well.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate tragedy is if you're a gun owner, I mean, there's no one more supportive of the Second Amendment than yours truly. But with that right to own and carry a firearm, you have to have the weapon secured, especially when you have minors in the home or anyone who shouldn't be handling a firearm. And I don't know. Listen, I don't know what
Even the
dynamic
pot
was at
stores.
home. I don't know.
Yep.
What this the shooter, the girl in this case, was experiencing as far as mental health. But in addition to having a youthful person in the house, if they're undergoing some sort of mental crisis, that's another reason to secure the firearm. And by the way, I learned to shoot at a very, very young age and understood firearm safety. That's got to be part of the program. But my suspicion is, I think we're tracking along the same line. The firearm probably came from the parents, but it's a little too. We don't know yet. The police, they know already for sure, but they haven't shared that yet.
David, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for your thoroughness, your candidness, your perspective on this topic.
You did a good job.
We are supposed to hear from law enforcement and officials on the ground around 1 o'clock Eastern time today. So, of course, we'll
Noon.
be checking in with you soon to get
50
further
minutes, 48 minutes from now, so we won't be able to see that. But yeah, hey, man, what a crazy time that we're living in, man. We're going through a lot of chaos. We're going through a lot, not only in here in the United States, but all the way around the world. It's absolutely crazy to watch. It's hard to watch, actually. But the best thing I can do is report it, keep you guys up to date with what is happening, give you guys the most transparent news possible, and keep you guys hip with what is happening around the world so you guys can be, you guys can at least kind of prepare for what may or may not be happening. So, with that being said, everybody, I cannot thank you guys enough for hanging out with us this morning. Thank you guys to the Breakfast Club for making this, all these shows happen. Very much appreciate you guys. Thank you, Jess, by the way, for the 10 gifted memberships before we had even started the show, as well as a $10 super chat saying good morning to everyone. Appreciate that. And as well as Brother Beezer also gifting out another 5, man. I very much appreciate all of you guys. And also, I can't leave out my man, Howard. He sent me $10 on the Cash App. And he said, happy fucking Tuesday. Absolutely. Much love, honor, respect to all of you legends. Digga, I always appreciate you for being here with us as well. And all of you legends, hopefully we will see you guys tomorrow morning. I mean, I know I'll be here, but hopefully you guys show up. And for more of the world's chaos, man. Much love, honor, respect. Much love. And also make sure that you guys stay safe out there. It's chaos right now. So be on your P's and Q's. Much love.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host
Thank you, Brother Glare.